Hello, I'm Ruth Medjber and welcome to Out of the Darkroom. In this series of special videos, I'm giving my professional insight into shooting music festivals. In this episode, we will look at what to do with the photographs after the festival. Well, congratulations, you survived a music festival as a working photographer. Now you have hundreds, if not thousands of images to process and share. Processing can be done relatively quickly in Lightroom and exported as screen resolution JPEGs for web sharing. What I tend to do is also export a higher resolution batch that I can share with my clients as well as with the printed press. Normally for press images or music photography, I wouldn't do anything more than a touch of cropping and exposure balance in Lightroom. And there's definitely no need for anything further like Photoshop. One thing you should always do with your images before you share them is embed all the necessary data. This will ensure that your name, copyright information, and contact details are embedded into the files themselves. So if a journalist or even a band gets hold of an image that they want to use, they'll know how to contact you. Not only should you be filling in information like the keyword tags such as band names and even the festival name, you should also be captioning correctly. If you have a really great photo of two friends posing for the camera at the festival, then the newspapers are going to want to know their names, their ages, and where they're from. Some newspapers won't run the images without this information, so you need to write down the captions as you shoot and then transcribe this information into the IPTC section of the photograph. This can be done really easily in Lightroom. When I'm sharing to web, I will embed my watermark onto the image. I do this in an unobtrusive way, slightly opaque, so as not to upset the whole image. Some people don't do it at all, which is also fine, but I like to think of it more as a form of free advertising when people share my images between each other online. Sometimes you'll find that bands share images online without asking permission or even tagging you. It'll also be a savior when someone else tries to claim ownership of that image and take all the credit. In this day and age, turnaround time is everything. If you're shooting Friday to Sunday down at the festival, then book Monday off to process and share. If you've arrived home Sunday night, ideally start work immediately. There really is no time to waste. Chances are you'll have gotten some similar shots to the other photographers there, but your advantage can be the speed of delivery. If you are just shooting for yourself, there will be no restrictions on when you can post your images, so post them to your social media platforms instantly. If you're doing a Facebook album, then tag each band. Tag the festivals, tag the drink sponsors, tag everyone and anyone who you think will have an interest in sharing that image and spreading your name around. If you're shooting for blogs or magazines, then usually you'll have to file with them first before releasing the photos on your own website or social media channels. If you're shooting for a corporate client, then you'll definitely have to check with them when or even if you can release the photographs. Some clients might insist that you sign a copyright transferal contract when you shoot the festival for them, in which case you might not have any rights to share the photos at all. If you have the rights to your images and think you've gotten some of the best shots of your life, then you might like to sell your prints. You can physically print and roll and post these yourself, maybe setting up a store on your own website. Or you could decide to lose a percentage of the sales and let a third-party online print store handle it all for you. Whatever you do, try to share only your best images. You want people to know that you shoot quality work, not that you're a bit hit and miss. Quality over quantity. Realistically, your Instagram followers are going to get bored very quickly of seeing the same stuff from the same festival for days on end. So limit your posts and redirect them to a full gallery on your site if they're interested in seeing more. On Facebook, you can share albums, which is brilliant for tagging bands and tagging friends. People are more inclined to scroll through a Facebook album, so you can be a little bit more generous with your shots here, but still try to keep duplicate band shots to a minimum. If you've shot the festival just for yourself and are not aligned to any paper or blog, then you might consider sharing your images with the local press. Usually the papers will have their own photographers on site, but you can send the editor an email with a very small sample selection of your work saying that you were there, you shot the festival and you got amazing shots of X, Y, and Z, should they wish to see more. Freelance press photographers spend years building up their lists of editors' email addresses, news desks, picture editors' contact info, exactly for this purpose. Once you get into the swing of things, you'll know exactly what your local papers like to show and how they like to receive their pictures. Some like straight email attachments, some prefer an FTP system which you'll need access to. Most journalists will welcome a WeTransfer file so you don't clog their inbox. But always remember the IPTC info if you're venturing into the press world. That's all from me for this episode. Subscribe to Adorama TV for more videos, and don't forget to check out the Adorama Learning Centre for more great tips and tricks. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.